Peterborough protest, cops have just shown up. We just show up on our own accord. We've been doing so since August. I know you guys are aware of that, right?
Yeah, so guys, there's an order in effect right now put in place by the government that says you need to stay home unless you're out for obviously one of the listed purposes.
Okay.
And this doesn't fall within that.
And what happens if we don't?
What happens if you don't is we're put in a position where we have to lay charges against the individuals that are here.
So is that tickets?
Yep, that's tickets.
Okay, I'm not leaving. Write them up. I'll give you my ID.
Is one of the essential reasons protest and free speech? I'm just curious.
You guys know it's against our charter rights, right?
Being outside to do it at this point in time is not.
Yeah, well, we're getting fresh air and exercise. That qualifies as essential, doesn't it? Fresh
Well,
air.
this doesn't qualify as exercise. Fresh air is one thing, but
So you're entitled to exercise when we're not, right?
also there's the size of the group that becomes the issue, right? So you're allowed to be in a group of 5 or less, and this is clearly a bigger group than that. So
Can I
those
ask
are the
you
issues.
how you feel about this? Like, literally as a human being with rights from the Charter of Rights, do you know that this is a globalist attack on everything and a takeover? You must know.
Do you mind actually... Sorry, go ahead.
So at the end of the day, I don't get to choose
Yeah.
the legislation, right?
Yeah.
I don't write legislation, and I don't get to choose it. My job is to enforce
Right,
it.
but can I ask you a question? Has it been written in legislation? It has not. This is just a health mandate. It hasn't been legislated. Nobody.
It's an order put in place by the Ontario government, so that's what we're here to
Okay,
enforce.
sir, but you are acting under oath right now, correct?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you
Are you acting under oath right
What do
now?
you mean by under oath?
you guys swear an
Well,
oath
you
when you
took an
join
oath,
the
correct?
police force, right?
To the Charter of Rights of Canada, right? The Constitution.
Do you guys
So
have-
Are you acting under oath right now?
Yeah,
Do you guys have your oath in your book?
My lawful
So,
duty.
Do you guys have your oath
Yes.
in your books?
so I just want to make a point. The Charter of Rights says we.
Do you have your oath in your book?
Peaceful assembly. That's what we're doing.
In your notebook? Simple question.
It has to be under 5 people.
Okay. Can I ask you one more question? Has the Charter of Rights been revoked in any way? Is it an invalid document right now?
Charter of Rights?
Yeah, the Charter of Rights.
No.
So it's valid,
We
correct?
supersede
So it supersedes what
the
You can
government
take
said.
that up with the courts. I don't.
Yep.
That's not something that I get to write. I don't write the Charter of
I
Rights.
agree. Just want
Right?
you to know we
my job
believe.
is to enforce the laws that have been put in place by the
what
Canadian
if
government and the Ontario
I
government.
agree. But you're enforcing illegal laws. You realize
Do you guys have your oath in your book?
So,
Do you have your oath in your book?
Your name and address, okay?
Why?
Because I'm going to be writing you a ticket today.
I don't have ID on me.
Well, that's fine. I'll need just your name and address and date of birth, okay? Let's go over here.
I don't like, but I'm not breaking any laws. Why are you taking me away from the group? I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't consent to this.
Officer, make sure you know that's very clear.
Do you have an oath in your book? Before you start writing stuff, I'm asking you if you have an oath in your book. Do you have an oath in your book?
No, I don't. What's your name?
Logan Murphy.
Logan Murphy?
That's right. I don't consent to this. This is all under duress. I'm going to put that on record.
Okay. What's your date of
That's right. So you don't have an oath in your book. How do you reference what your guiding
address?
principles are?
What is your address?
How do you reference the guiding principles that make you a cop if your oath isn't in your book?
Under the Health Act for not wearing masks.
Who are you, sir?
It's called freedom. Keep going.
Freedom my ass. Put your goddamn
Move along,
mask
sir.
on, idiot.
Move along, sir.
No, I won't.
If you don't have an oath in your book, how can you reference the guiding principles that make you, if you do not have the oath in your book, how do you reference the guiding principles that tell you how to perform your duties as a police officer? Are you answering because you don't have a thought or because you're not allowed to think?
I'm just not here to get into a philosophical debate about this. So you're here.
So if we're going to move away from philosophy, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms very explicitly states we're allowed to move freely in our own country and breathe air, things like that. And there is a clause that very explicitly says any law made that supersedes that is null and void. Pretty sure he's a person in this country. He can talk to people.
What's he getting?
Why?
What are you getting into?
Is it because I'm actually in charge of the situation, or is it because I'm a person of this country and I'm allowed to tell people that they can enforce their own rights? How do you feel about being a police officer and having these mandates come from people you don't know who are unelected, and now you're turned into a weapon of enforcement and fear? Does that make you feel like a used person or a used like you're not exactly executing your sworn oath, are you? You're just fear mongering, because we both know that this ticket you're writing up is not actually going to hold any weight in court. Do you think forcing masks is extortion? Do you feel like you're acting like a mafia member right now? What's your name and badge number?
McGill 235 will be on my ticket.
McGill 235, okay.
Because the last thing I want to do is spend.
So I'm curious why I'm getting a ticket and nobody else is seemingly being singled out.
One at a time.
Well, you got 3 cops there with their hands free.
I don't know what they're doing. I'm dealing with you though.
I'm not moving away. I'm right here. Hey, I'm just curious, guys. He says that you can only write 1 ticket at a time, but I noticed you guys have your hands in your pockets. Why aren't you writing tickets for everybody here?
Because we're having a conversation right now.
And what they're doing.
Well, this guy seems to be able to write and talk at the same time, right?
You're supposed to protect.
You guys get the same training to write and talk at the same time?
Yeah. I know you guys.
All right.
0519. Lima 08 Alpha 1 Bravo 0.
6 months. Why are you just showing up now?
Yeah. What's the pressure to show up now? I'm just curious.
6 months we would know.
I think
So what's the orders change, right? The stay-at-home orders, right? That's not
By the way, I'm going to be writing you I don't have paper on me right now, but I'm going to be writing you a notice of trespass because you're trespassing me right now by making me fear that I'm actually doing something wrong when I know for a fact I'm in the right. So you're going to be getting a notice of trespass from me, Logan Murphy, a man. And, you know, later in time, you're going to have that trespass on file. I'm going to have it recorded that I sent to you. And when common law courts are a much more common thing, I'm going to take you to court for trespassing me. Because I've told you so many things that could stop this trespass, and you're continuing to do it. Do you acknowledge that?
I heard you, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you. Winter warfare? This is winter warfare. What are you talking about?
No. This isn't crazy.
Oh, it's not crazy. It's just insane. Because this guy...
Here you go. You were asking me for that. There you go.
Coldness. Do you think this is crazy or insane? Do you think this is justified?
This ticket I'm writing?
No, just the whole situation of being able to walk up to protesters that are...
Speak to this ticket that I'm writing.
That's it? Okay. Well, you're not writing anything. Do you mind if I ask you, Rogers, what do you think about walking up to people that are peacefully protesting, breathing some fresh air, trying to make our countrymen known that there is a problem, and that you guys can come and threaten to take our money and our security away from us, even though there's really no standing for it? Do you have any thoughts? Do you have an oath in your book that you can read? And I'd do 6 years at that regiment just to get trespassed by my own enforcement. I gave 6 years of my life to train, to be ready to fight for this country and die for it. And here you are, writing this ticket up to me. 6 years, was it for nothing, or... Because if we don't have freedom here, then what's the point of having a military, right? Why don't we just let everybody into our country? Because if I'm just an average citizen and I can't walk around, anybody can come here, really, right?
Hands are getting cold.
That's, whatever.
force or not. That's not my role. My role is
You know, there's a group of cops and ex-police and military, 25,000 strong, that are disagreeing with all of this.
Okay, so here's your ticket, okay? On the back is 3 options. The first option is just to pay the ticket. The second option is to plead guilty but ask for a lower fine. The third option is to contest it. You have 15 days to pick an option, okay? So you're aware?
I'm aware of that. I do this all under duress, though. I want to put that on record.
Okay. So I'm going to get you to move along now, okay?
So you can serve me and tell me to leave?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, well, I don't want to get caught in cuffs, so I guess I'll just...
Our staff work hard to prevent and solve crime, efficiently respond to emergencies, enforce the law, support victims, and maintain public order in the Peterborough area. Our job is to ensure the region remains a safe and vibrant community for years to follow.